Hi, I'm Kanyanat Ponjantong, and today I'm going to present my conference proceeding, a scoping reviews of urban heritage area applying place strategy for placemaking at the 18th International Conference on Interdisciplinary Social Science. And the keywords for today is urban place, placemaking, and urban heritage. Urban heritage refers to the city as heritage, a special type of cultural property that is mainly associated with the neighborhood, urban center, and historic city. As you can see in this photo, you will see the beautiful combination between the modernized city and the heritage building. Urban heritage areas often require enhanced management due to the stricter regulation that control and monitor the built environment. The management plan must carefully balance between the preservation of the heritage building and also maintenance the quality of life of the people who live in that area, as it can allow people to immerse themselves in the rich of cultural and heritage atmosphere. Unlike the other place, many urban heritage sites in the world have been transformed into popular tourist destinations. And the report also shown that one type of the tourism which growth in popularity and most influential and also fastest growing in the world right now is the heritage tourism, and is expected to expand 3.8% from 2022 to 2030. This situation also possible to cause the tourism gentrification, which means a process in which the growth of the visitor threatens the existing population right to stay in the area. And it can separate into three types of displacement, which is residential displacement, commercial displacement, and place-based displacement. While residential and commercial displacement is connected to the increase of land value and cost of living, resulting from the growth of tourism industry. Place-based displacement refers to a decline of sense of belonging of the current local resident due to the transformation of their living space into tourism-oriented environment, which create a new social and cultural context that lead them to feel a sense of dispossession from the place that they used to live in. Based on this issue, Play an Urban Play strategy, which is the open and inclusive framework that examines the potential of play in urban areas that allow people to interact with the city and also with each other, was acknowledged as a universal language which diverse individuals can express their needs through the engagement in a playful behavior within the urban public space. Because the nature of play allows people to think and move in the same time, while having the social interaction with the public space. So the thing we perform while we play in this public space will be able to allow us to showcase our need and how we utilize this space. A guide for creating a playable city from the urban conga also explained the value of urban play as a human-centric citizen engagement which takes place on the city space, and separate it into three aspects. Include first, it can create trust, mutual understanding, and share value between players. Second, it can share and showcase the new possibility of the space. And when we have the reason to stay longer in the public space or the community space, it also can lead to the third reason, which is to boosting the local economic and health qualities of people in the area. Based on all the assumptions above, this scoping review want to investigate the role of play and urban play in enhancing the process of placemaking, which is the process of transforming the space as a spatial structure without meaning to become a place through the connection and meaning that people have and form while they using the space. So the review objective will be to examine the feasibility of incorporating place strategy into the placemaking process within an urban heritage area based on previous literature. It consists of three review questions. First, how previous research was conducted on the topic of applying place strategy placemaking in urban heritage area. Second, what are the key characteristics or factors associated with application of place strategy for placemaking in urban heritage area? And last, what are the existing gaps in the knowledge base regarding to the topic of applying place strategy placemaking in urban heritage area? After the identification of review objective and question, systematic search strategy will be further conducted, and the PPC framework introduced by Joanna Brick Institute will be utilized to identify the main concept in the review question and establishing clear and meaningful objective for the review. The review question was analyzed and divided into keywords associated with PPC, which is population, concept, and context, alongside with their synonym and control vocabulary based on the EBS co-host database. This element will use to construct a set syntax for conduct a systematic searching in three databases, which is EBS co-host, Academic Search Complete, Web of Science, and Scopus. And this is the search syntax and citation file from EBS co-host. Web of Science and Scopus. When combine all the end results of the narrow scope from three databases, we will have in total 61 papers for study further. After got the primary end result, the inclusion and exclusion criteria was established, and the inclusion criteria include: it need to be related to the application of place strategy for placemaking in urban heritage area, or at least relate with two keywords of placemaking and urban heritage. Second, it needs to public in a peer-reviewed journal or be an organization report, and all type of report with no language restriction was allowed. And the exclusion criteria are the paper only relate to a single keyword such as only placemaking or only urban heritage area without a connection between at least two of these keywords. And the paper without available full text paper and with the language restriction was excluded. After review based on the criteria, 47 papers from 61 papers was selected as an include paper for conducting the scoping review. For the finding, first, we take a look at how previous study was conducted on the topic of applying place strategy in the placemaking process of urban heritage area. And for the type of include paper, we found four different types of paper include academic journal, conference paper, book chapter, and periodical, which can show that most of the previous research was conducted in the form of academic journal. As you can see, it's got 78.7%. For the distribution of include paper based on overlap keyword, this result based on the first inclusion criteria that require at least two of the keywords from include paper. So it's worth to explore what is the combination of the overlap keyword that we found from the previous study. And as you can see, most of it is come from the overlap of urban heritage area and placemaking for 85%. For the distribution of include paper based on the geographic, we found 8 countries which take the most parts of the previous research include Australia, China, Italy, Malaysia, Poland, Spain, UK, and USA, while the other countries are only have less than 2 studies from the include paper. Next, we will move on to the key concept and definition in previous literature. Based on many studies, placemaking can refer to a collaborative process that shapes public space to maximize shared value by inspiring people to collectively reimagine and reinvent this space and create meaningful experience and sense of place in the space through a social interaction. And we also can find the significant element in creating a sense of place that separate into place attachment, behavioral intention, and place meaning. Under the umbrella of place attachment, it consists of place identity that form from the place cognitive, which is the thought, belief, and perception that people have with the place, and place dependence that form from the place satisfaction, which refer to a functional expectation that people have with place, which made people to feel that they can depend on this place. Place dependence also lead to behavioral intention of people to revisit and recommend this space to the other people. And the last element are place meaning, which related with the feeling and emotion that people feel when they experiencing the space. For play and urban play, Merriam-Webster Dictionary mentioned that play is the conduct, course, action to engaging in a game, recreational activity, and a state of being active. And most of the study mention play as a primary function that children supposed to pursue as an aid of learning and socialization. So we have a ton of research demonstrate how play is beneficial for kids, while for the adult, we tend to feel guilty in playing and begin to see it as a distraction from successful or the reward. Therefore, not that much research have explored the benefit of the play in this point. However, if we switch to focus on narrower scope of urban play and community engagement, we will be able to discover further advantage of play as a transformation of everyday life and living space into a new experience, would allow the adult to break from the invention, to experiment, to shift from the normality into a rich world of imagination, and in the same time it also play a crucial role in encouraging a sense of community. For the urban heritage, after digging into the previous study, we also can find different law and regulation based on the location and context. For example, this is the key indicator of the qualities of historic urban landscape established by UNESCO. It consists of cultural aspects such as structure, public space, regional and urban planning, movement and transportation, view, event and activity. Social aspect which relate to the social concerns such as city accessibility to living, working, recreational, and service for the local people, and also the qualities of housing unit, the variety of housing type, and civic pride. The economic aspects such as result in terms of income, marketing, and city reputation, and ecological aspect, which include biodiversity, water, and air quality. We also can file a descriptive of local distinctiveness element which separate local distinctiveness element into core element which consists of man-made and natural feature, and dynamic elements such as food, drink, craft, and business, and have a cultural identity and people in the middle, which can be both core element and dynamic element. Let's move to the final part, which is the conclusion. For the key characteristic or factor associated with the application of place strategy for placemaking in urban heritage area based on the literature, we can separate it into three aspects. First, we need to understand how a sense of place is constructed through a placemaking process to gain the insights of the element and factor that contribute to creating a strong and positive connection between people and the urban heritage area. This understanding also helps to identify areas for improvement where play strategy and urban play can help to enhance in the process. Second, to design playful activity that allow us to discover further advantage of play as a general human quality rather than one associated only with children. By highlighting the benefit of play for individuals of all age, we can encourage a wider range of people to engage with the urban heritage area. Therefore, it is significant to have an understanding of the psychological theory behind the construction of playful behavior. And third, we need to highlight the distinctiveness aspect of the urban heritage. As urban heritage areas have distinct characteristics that set them apart from the other area. Moreover, it is important to consider the law and the regulation that are specific to each area to decide a suitable process that enhance the appreciation and understanding of the heritage and the sense of place in the same time. Lastly, for exiting gap in knowledge base, if we take a look at the previous research conducted on the application of place strategy in placemaking within urban heritage area, especially the distribution of paper based on overlap keyword and geography. It highlights the existing gap in knowledge that further research is need to fully explore the connection between urban heritage area placemaking and play, as the results reveal that a significant proportion of the inclusive paper focusing on intersection between urban heritage area and placemaking, while it have very limited number of the research that specifically explore the relationship between urban heritage area and play, and also placemaking and play, as well as to investigate the unique characteristic of urban heritage area in the country beyond 8 commonly studied regions that have shown in the result. And this is the list of reference. So this is the end of the presentation. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this scoping review can inspire you on your further research journey. Have a good day.